Hello, my name is Melody and welcome back to Strawberry Lemon. Today I have a very exciting TBR video for y'all and I am going to be participating in the Reindeer Readathon. The Reindeer Readathon. It just sounds so cute and their graphics are so cute and it's just a lot of cuteness. So the Reindeer Readathon was created by, I believe, Eric from Break Even Books. So I'll link Eric's video down below, and there are also some co-hosts. So that's exciting. I am part of Team Stalking. So if you are in Team Stalking, leave a comment down below. We got this! And yeah, if you're wondering why I'm wearing a beanie, it is because this is a Christmas wintry themed video. And I couldn't find my Santa Claus hat, so this beanie will have to do. But I gotta get over that, and let's get straight into the TBR. So the first prompt is Dasher, a book with a one-word title. And I am going to be reading Winter Song by S.J. Jones. Hopefully that's how you pronounce it. And this is about a girl and there is a Goblin King, and the Goblin King kidnaps her sister and she has to go into their underworld to kind of save her sister, and I think she meets the Goblin King. I feel like there's probably some romance between them. And yeah, I think this is inspired from Korean mythology, so I think that's so cool and I'm excited to read this. This has been on my shelf for years. So the second prompt is Dancer, and it is a companion novel or sequel. I'm going to be reading, finally, The Sea of Monsters by Rick Riordan. And I read The Lightning Thief 2 months ago, I think, and I was supposed to vlog me reading all of the series, but I haven't started this one yet, so I will be vlogging this next month, hopefully. And yeah, I think most people know what Percy Jackson is about.
But basically, it's about a guy named Percy, and he finds out that he's a demigod, and he's the son of Poseidon, so he has powers. He goes to this camp, and monsters are trying to kill him.
Yeah. And then the third prompt is Prancer, a book with a map in it. And I thought this prompt was gonna be so easy to find a book for. I was like, fantasy books usually have maps, right? But I cannot find a book with a map in it. But I ended up choosing The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang, and the map is right here. And I was so happy. I was like, yes, this has a map. I did not think it would be that hard to find a book with a map in it, but apparently I don't own books with maps in it. I think most people know what this series is about, probably more than I do, because I actually don't really know what this book is about. I just know that everyone's reading it. It's really good apparently. You will bawl your eyes out, and yeah, I believe it takes place in China during the Second Sino-Japanese War, which I think is really cool and interesting, and I'm not prepared to cry, but yeah. So the next prompt is Vixen, which is to read a book with a fox on the cover, and I decided to read Pax by Sarah Pennypacker, illustrated by John Klassen. And this book, it seems so cute. It's about Peter and a fox Pax. So Peter saves the fox Pax, but I think there's a war going on, so Peter has to go move in with his grandfather and he can't bring Pax along. So he had to trick and leave Pax behind by throwing his toy into the forest, and Pax went to go retrieve it and they just left without him. But while they were going back to his grandfather's place, Peter regretted it so much because he was like, why am I listening to my father? And he packs a bag and goes on a trip to find Pax, and it's told in both Pax's and Peter's point of view, which I think, like, a fox's point of view, I feel like this book is gonna make me all like mushy, but yeah. The next prompt is Comment, which is to read a book that you find intimidating, and oh my gosh, do I find this book intimidating. It would be A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. And do you see this? This book is humongous. It is like 600, yeah, almost 700 pages. And I tried to start it a few years back, but I I got like 60 pages in probably, and I don't know, I haven't watched the TV series. I think most people also know what this book is about. The only thing I know about this book is like winter is coming, and yeah, I think they're fighting something off and a lot of death, and yeah. The next prompt is Cupid, read a genre that you love. So I am going to be reading a sci-fi book, which is going to be one of the December picks for my sci-fi book club, the Interstellar Book Club. I'll link it down below. But one of the books we're reading is a novella called To Be Taught If Fortunate by Becky Chambers. This book seems like it's about astronauts and they like send information back to Earth about like different planets and stuff. So while they're traveling to different planets, I think they're put to sleep in a chamber kind of thing, and when they wake up, their physical appearance is different. And I don't know, it just seems really interesting. It's a novella. It has 4.21 stars on Goodreads, which should be, I'm hoping it's really good. Check out the book club. The next prompt is Donner, which is to read a book with something hidden inside, and I'm going to be reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. And this book is about Addie, and she made a deal with someone, or she's cursed, and everybody that she meets forgets her, and she's just living through life like this, like hundreds of years like this, until suddenly there's a random boy that just remembers her. And yeah, that's all I know about this book. I think the UK edition, under the book sleeve, there's like foiling, so that's what I'm doing for the something hidden inside. If I'm wrong, I will try to find another book. The next prompt is Blitzen, which is to read a book with some type of struggle, internal struggle, war, battle, etc. So for this, I'm going to be reading the other novella that the Sci-Fi Book Club is going to be reading, and we are reading Mostly Hero by Anna Burns, and this was randomly picked by people's recommendations from our book club, so I'm not too sure what it's about. Goodreads says Femme is under a magical spell to kill her lover Hero, and the hero is on a mission to find out if Femme's great aunt is his own grandmother, and then the great aunt is trying to figure out if Femme is in love with her arch enemy Hero. And then there's Freddie, who is Femme's forlorn cousin, who wants to destroy the great aunt, otherwise his fiance Monique will not marry him. And yeah, it's just like a whole thing. I'm very interested to see how everything will be fit into 60 pages, so I'm super excited to read that. So the last prompt is Rudolph, and is to read a book where the main character doesn't seem to fit in, and I'm going to be reading Monstrous by Marjorie Liu, illustrated by Sana Takeda. And this book is amazing. I had to read it for class, and illustrations are beautiful, characters are awesome, there's so much gore, and I'm excited. I want to reread this before I read the second volume, and this book, I believe, takes place in like an alternate version of China, and also comments on history of like the war and everything. And I think the third volume mentions the rape of Nanking. And yeah, the main character here, she is an Archaea, I think that's how you say it, and they're kind of treated as lesser beings, but she also has like a monster or something inside of her that's really powerful, and everyone's just trying to kill her. So I think that would count as a misfit, like, yeah. And yeah, that is the end of this TBR. I hope you liked it. If you're planning on participating, please let me know. Even if you're on a different team, we got this. We're just celebrating the holiday spirit, and I'm so excited. And hopefully I find my Santa Claus hat. We'll see about that. But yeah, bye. See you in the next one.